Joaquin Sorolla is a Spanish painter renowned for his exponential ability to capture light, color, and movement. His work spanned from portraiture, landscapes, and scenes of everyday life, infused with an impressionistic brilliance and distinct Spanish character. Born on February 27, 1863, in Valencia, Spain, Sorolla faced tragedy with both of his parents died when he was at the age 2. Him and his sisters were raised by their maternal aunt and uncle. Sorolla showed artistic talent early on, enrolling at the Escuela de Bellas Artes de San Carlos in Valencia at the age of 15. After his formal training in Valencia, he traveled to Madrid to study the works of Spanish masters like Vázquez, who would later influence his style. A pivotal movement in his development came from a scholarship that allowed him to study in Rome and later in Paris, where he was exposed to Impressionism and Naturalism. The oil painting Court of Dances was created by Joaquin Solora that demonstrates a beautiful, vibrant garden with the sun sparkling through the shadows. In this painting of the garden in Seville, one can see a fence by the pathway and the glint of the sunlight that peers through the fence. In the background, one can identify columns at the palace court, indicating that this garden is very grand. The feeling of the occasion that he had towards this garden is shown with the use of colors mixed with one another to display the enchanted atmosphere that has been created. The use of color is very vibrant, shadows and light overlapping each other, demonstrating Joaquin's concern with color, light, brilliance, and atmosphere. The color reflects a lighted animated scene to help define the forms, creating a sense that nature is ever changing. Green is the main color that's used to highlight the lavish garden and how the light and shadows interact with the greenery. The warm, earthly tones of the ground provide a base, grounding the composition. His use of cool blues in the tile area and shaded spots create depth and contrast against the warmer, sunlighted areas. The brushworks reveal dynamic and layered color blending, capturing the dabbling sunlight and the atmosphere of the courtyard. The harmonious mix in the form of cool tones invokes a sense of tranquility and natural beauty. The vertical lines of the trees and columns frame the competition, com- guiding one's eyes deeper into the scene, while the diagonal path creates a sense of direction and movement. The organic, irregular lines of the foliage contrast with the more structured and geometric lines of the architecture, creating a balance between natural and man-made elements. The use of his loose, expressive lines to outline the architecture and natural elements, and the strokes with the bold and gestural give the painting an impressionistic energy. He uses visible strokes to create his paintings instead of invisible brushstrokes that are commonly used in historical paintings. The use of these visible thick brushstrokes adds dimension to his paintings. He creates depth through overlapping layers. The foreground's trees and greenery frame the midground pathway, leading to a brighter, more open background. The use of atmospheric perspective is evident, with objects in the background becoming less defined and lighter in tone, giving the illusion of distance. The strong vertical framing from the trees and structures compress the sides of the painting, emphasizing the pathway as a central element, which draws the viewer into the heart of the courtyard. Solora's mastery of light and movement is on full display in this painting. His brushstrokes capture the fleeting beauty of the moment, immersing the viewer in the peaceful yet vibrant space of the garden. During a transformative period in French history, spanning the late 18th and early 19th century, through his meticulous detailed genre scenes and portraits, Bully captures the social and cultural dynamics of the times, earning him a reputation as one of the greatest recorders of urban life. He was born on July 5th, 1761, in La Béziers in northern France. Woolley was introduced to art by his father, a wood carver. He showed an early aptitude for drawing and painting. At 19, he was already producing portraits, highlighting his talent for capturing lifelike details and personality. He received his artistic training in Douai under local artists and briefly studied Flemish paintings, which influenced his precise technique and addition to detail. Entrance to the Jardin Turc by Louise Lipro-Boulay. The Jardin Turc was a famous garden and cafe in Paris during the late 18th century, a popular spot for the Parisians to socialize. The painting captures the lively, bustling energy of the location, filled with a diverse group of people engaging in varieties of activities. Bully portrays urban life during the post-revolution era, reflecting the changing social dynamics of France. He focuses on the interactions of different social classes in a public space, which is his common theme in his work. This scene is carefully organized into multiple layers of activity. The foreground is dominated by a group of figures in dynamic poses, their faces full of expression, while the midground features a more loosely detailed crowd. The architecture of the cafe in the background frames the composition, providing depth. The lighting is soft and even, which is common in genre paintings, with a warm, naturalistic tone that enhances the pleasant, relaxed atmosphere of the garden. Boulay uses double contrasts of light and shadow to emphasize certain figures and areas, such as the faces of the children and the woman in white at the center, who serves as a focal point. The color palette consists of warm earth tones and muted pastels, which reflect the gentle harmony of the scene. Splashes of bright colors like the children's clothes and foliage add vibrancy without overpowering the composition. Bouilly's brushwork is smooth and meticulous, characteristics of academic teachings. He captures the textures of the fabric, of the architecture, of the cafe, and even the leaves of the trees with great precision. The attention to minute details such as the pattern on the shawl or the posture of a passerby demonstrates his commitment to realism while maintaining a sense of charm and accessibility. The painting is rich with narrative detail, depicting a variety of human interactions, such as the children playing with toys in the foreground, adding a sense of innocence and playfulness. A well-dressed man speaking with a street performer shows the blending of classes as well as a group of women and men engaged in conversation or quietly observing, offering a glimpse of life at the time. The attention that's given to facial expression and body language gives each figure a distinct personality, inviting one to imagine their stories.